Rob Armstrong.
All right, y'all, let's jump into this. This is not a tutorial. This is not a how-to. YouTube, I ain't teaching nothing. I ain't selling nothing. I'm just showing you what my MAC9 looks like currently at this point, right? And kind of talk you through some of this, right? I'm gonna kind of work my way around this. I am not a fan of gloves, but I am hoping that when I'm working with some of these small parts, it's the camera focuses a little bit better and my hands kind of don't be in the way because it's a different color, right? So anyway, like I said, jumping into this, right? The first thing is this frame. The frame, if you look at these rails have been reworked, right? And they look really, really good. They have been reworked and polished up, and this is basically where that slide is running across this dang on this frame. This was something I knew I had to get done, and it looks really, really good. I am really happy with how that came out. So that was one thing right there, was the rails. Now, another thing is with this slide. I talked about the marble cut in another video. You could check that out. I don't want to necessarily say there was a marble cut, but where this part of the slide contacts the disconnector, you know it's going to be riding up and down. It's been rounded right here. So it's a little smooth kind of round edge. Can't see it real good, but I put a little round edge on that. And then also all this right here has been high polished. Same thing. This is the same, the whole spot. This is where that disconnector is going to be riding. And like I said, this whole thing is just basically about contact points. Smoothing out those contact points or wherever the gun's going to be having friction. That way it can cycle better, function better, run smoothly, run more smooth. That's kind of like my target areas, right? Also, on the barrel, the feed ramp. Same thing. A nice, clean, high polish. Looks really, really good. Definitely reworked that. Now, at this point, I have not shot this gun at all. This is all like right out the gate, just kind of getting to it, right? Now, for the talk about all that stuff, I kind of want to go to some of the frame stuff, right? One of the things I did with the frame was this rear main spring. I forget what the poundage is on this one. I want to say the stock one is like 23 or 24, something like that. But I swapped that out to a 19 pound, and of course that is already installed in there, and that is on point. Looking forward to that. Along with that rear main spring, talking about the frame some more. Right now, this is still the stock frame. I might do some stippling. I haven't decided yet. I was going to shoot the gun a little bit, but I might stipple the frame, right? One of the things that was good about the frame was I swapped the trigger to the Atlas trigger. Now, the Atlas trigger drops right in there. There's no fitting that is required. It just slides right in there. It is super loose right out the gate. You don't have to do anything. So if you plan on getting an Atlas trigger, it drops right in, no issues at all. Now, the stock trigger, I don't think there's going to be any issue with it, but I swapped it out mostly because I wanted the red. I mostly just wanted the red trigger, for real, right? Now, if you're looking at this, the trigger bowl, right, you see how it's real black? It probably needs to do a little bit of reworking as well if you decided to keep this one as well. And I kind of did a little bit of it so you can kind of see what it looks like on the backside. Now, the Atlas trigger, when you get it, it has a pretty good finish on it already, but I definitely did some more working on it, and it has got a nice high shine. I didn't go like extreme on the sides, but definitely on the backside where that disconnector hits that. Oh, I put a lot of time on the backside of that because that's where that disconnector interfaces with this bow, right? Now on the sides, some people do the sides, some people don't. I definitely did the sides, and the reason why I did the sides is because the sides of this trigger bow is interfacing with the frame. And like I said, it's all about those contact points and friction points, right? And If it makes a difference, cool. If it doesn't, hey, it's already polished, so I just did that anyway, right? Going from the trigger, talk about, also another thing I did was the toolless guy rod. I talked about that. Definitely like this. It makes taking the gun down so much easier. And I swapped the spring. I forget what the stock weight is on this, but the pound I went with is a 12 pound. So now I have a 12 pound recoil spring inside that toolless guy rod. Now I'm going to talk about some of this ignition kit, right? There are some contact points inside here that I kind of worked through, right? The first thing I'm going to talk about is this hammer, right? The hammer and the hammer strut. So the hammer strut, it kind of gets its activation from the rear main spring, and it sits inside here, and that spring pushes up and kind of is doing what it needs to do. The whole hammer strut was all black, but if you look, it's been reworked as well. It's been reworked and it's been rounded just slightly, and the reason why is because I want it to always sit in here real smooth. I don't want no friction points. I want to be able to sit in there smooth, sit in that kind of groove, and do what it needs to do. That's why I kind of reworked that. Now also on the sides of the hammer, you can see all this stuff was black. I reworked all of this to a nice high shine. And same thing, like I said, it's all about those friction points and those contact points, right? I just want everything as smooth as possible, because once you get everything back together in the top, this is where all that action is happening. And I want it as smooth as possible when everything's up there, right? The next thing is this disconnector, right? The disconnector, the top of it, reworked all of that, got a nice shine to it. And this is the part that comes up through the slide, basically through here, and it's interfacing, well, it's coming up through the frame and it's interfacing with the slide. And this is that part that I was talking about when it is coming in contact with the slide. Having that kind of rounded edge right here, it's going to make it a little bit smoother for it to travel through. And then all this being a high gloss, high polish, it should be real smooth when it's working through there, right? Also, the bottom of the disconnector, this little foot area, gave that a nice high polish, high shine as well. And that's the part that's going to be interacting with the back of the trigger bowl. It kind of rests. Let's see how I can get this set up for you. It just rests right on the back like so. And you want that really, really smooth. So both of those got that nice high shine on there. And it's kind of, man, it feels like glass. Like that's how smooth you want it when it's sitting in there. Another thing was this Sear. Same thing. The Sear was all black. As you see, that's how it looked when it came straight out the factory. But on the sides, did the same thing, got a nice high polish. And when that Sear is sitting in there, that whole ignition kit, like I said, just those contact points, man, you want to smooth it all out. So that way everything just works seamlessly. You don't want no friction, everything smooth, everything clean. And those are some of the polish areas, right? Now, another issue I had was this leaf spring, Sear spring. Tuning this wasn't hard. If you really want to learn something about this, Atlas Gunworks has a bunch of videos with little how-tos. That's what you want to watch. This is not a how-to. This is not a how-to. This is not a tutorial. I'm just showing you where my MAC9 sits right now. But this definitely needed a lot of tuning, right? Now, besides the tuning part, one of the things I actually did as well was the thickness of the Sear spring was too thick, and I kind of shaved it down a little bit, because when I was working with this, when trying to put it in and out the gun, like messing with like the trigger pull and everything, it would never just sit in there flush. It would always kind of get stuck, and I'd have to kind of like wedge it in there. So what I did was just took some off on one side, took some off on the other side, so that way now when I'm messing with this Sear spring, it just sits right in there. And that's what you want. You want it to be able to sit right in there. You don't want any friction, same deal. So all about those friction points, you don't want none of that. So I just took it down just a little bit. It wasn't that much. Real light sandpaper, right? But yeah, that's pretty much everything, all the work that I specifically wanted to do with the MAC9 as far as internals. Only thing left now is to put it back together and then take it out to the range and go shoot it. Like I said, if you are liking the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to help the channel out, there's a bunch of ways that you can help out the channel. And if you really want to help, hey, like the video, subscribe. If you think this is good information and somebody else might find this useful, definitely share the video with them. That's all I got for you. This is your boy, Mr. Rob Armstrong. I'm out.